Hey DanishTuber, vi er tilbage endnu en gang. Back once again for Module 2, Video 1, and this time, den skriftlige del, the written part. Remember, if you didn't do so already, for each video in this course, you have a PDF attached covering all the most essential details about what you need to do, the controls you need to use to pass the test. So be sure to download them. Go ahead and grab it now if you want to follow a little bit along. Otherwise, do it after to recap everything that we talk about today. Okay, let's jump right into it. So this part of the written task is in email. Let's take a look. We have situation. Du har fået en mail fra din gode ven Claus, der for nylig har fået et nyt job. Cool. So basically, this task is about responding to the email. And as you can see, in his email, there are some parts that are underlined. And these are the important parts. These are what we need to respond to. Before we read the email, let's look at the actual task. Underneath, it says opgave. Skriv et svar. Write an answer. Tak for mailen. Say thanks for the email. Kom ind på de understregede dele i mailen. Touch upon the underlined points in the email. Foreslå at I mødes, så du kan høre mere om Claus's new job. Okay, suggest that you meet up so you can hear more about his job. So you have it all outlined. You just need to make sure you touch on these points. Apart from that, though, what is important with this task? What is the point? It is, of course, to show that you know something about Danish grammar, that you can formulate yourself written in Danish. So the trick right from the off is short and sweet. Keep it simple and keep yourself to sort of a 3-point rule, which again is something I like to stick to throughout the next half, the second half of this course. I'm going to talk more about that. 3-point rule could also be 2, 3 optimal, 2 also perfect. And you'll see what I mean as we get into it. But let's start with reading his email. Here we go. Tak for sidst. Jeg håber, du havde en god ferie. Thanks for last time. Hope you had a good vacation. Hvordan var det så at vandre i bjergene? So how was it hiking in the mountains? Jeg er rigtig glad for mit nye job. Really happy about my new job. Jeg har dog det problem, at der er meget larm på kontoret, hvor jeg arbejder. I have the problem, there's a lot of noise in the office where I work. Vi sidder over 20 personer i samme rum, og især 2 af mine kolleger snakker meget sammen. Okay, with 20 people in the same room, and especially 2 of my colleagues, they talk a lot. Jeg overvejer at sige til dem, at det forstyrrer mig. Synes du, jeg skal gøre det? I'm considering saying that it's disturbing me. Do you think I should do it? Second point we need to answer. Do you think I should do it? There's no right or wrong answer here. Again, you say yes or you say no. That's up to you. The point is you can formulate your response and maybe give a reasoning why. And this is sort of the 3-point system thing is yes or no. And can you give maybe 2 reasons why yes or 2 reasons why no? That would be a good sort of structure to use here. Mange af mine nye kolleger bliver tit en time eller 2 efter arbejde om fredagen og drikker en øl eller sodavand. Many of my new colleagues, they often stay an hour or 2 after work on a Friday to drink a beer or a soda. Jeg vil egentlig helst bare hjem og holde weekend. I pretty much just want to go home and start my weekend. Tror du, det er vigtigt, at jeg alligevel bliver? Do you think it's important that I, stay? Here we go again, same thing. We could already consider, do I think it's good? Do I think it's bad? Why could it be good or why could it be bad? I could also give both sides. Could be good because of this and this. Could be bad because of this and this. Maybe 2 points is actually enough here because we don't need to write an essay, right? We're going to keep it sweet. Look at the size of this person's email and we want to kind of reflect that, right? It's like when you're dating, only write back as much as the person writes to you. General rule for life. Vi skal jo snart til Stiens 30 års fødselsdag, og har aftalt at give en gave sammen. Yes, we're soon going to go to Stien's 30th birthday, and we've agreed to give him a gift. Men hvad skal vi egentlig give ham? But what should we give him? So the last point we need to cover is, what should we give him? Again, 2 points, 3-point system. probably I'm going more for the 2 here. Give 2 suggestions of what you might give. So how do you start an email usually? This email you've received, just kind of boom straight into it because you're friends, right? You know each other, tag for assist. But you could set it up in, a good way and say hello, say dear, who was it we're writing to? Klaus, yeah. Care Klaus. I've put together a little example. Let's go through my example reply or response and break it down a little bit and see what's going on. So let me reshare my screen. And here you can see, Del Prøve et. Email to Klaus. Yeah, I've written in a topic here, emne. Nyt job og Stens fødselsdag. It's not necessary. I'm just having fun with it. But as you can see, I've started, hi Klaus, and actually I want to delete this comma. And I put it there to remind myself to tell you that this is something you do not do in Danish. As in English, you put a comma after the name when your little intro. Danish, you never do it. Hi Klaus. Simple introduction. Tag for din mail. There, I've covered the first point. The first point down here was, so as we start, we could methodically check these, let me just go back to this one. We could check these little points here, and that's how we can get going, right? First, I need to say, thanks for the mail. Okay. Tag for din mail. If I think of my 2-point system, could I add something to that to make it a bit more interesting? What would you normally say to somebody, right? Tag for din mail. Det var virkelig hyggeligt sidst. Og jeg håber også, at du har haft det godt. Simple, yeah. It was really cozy last time. I had a great time last time, and I also hope you're doing good. Perfect. So our first point, if we go back to our email again, was, hvordan var det så at vandre i bjergene? So how was it hiking in the mountains? Let's take a look. I've written here, min ferie i bjergene var fantastisk. There, I've answered the question. Boom. 2-point system, though. Can I expand upon that, right? So as it was good, it was bad. What can I say more about it? Here are 2 points. Ja, det var en vild oplevelse at vandre i de smukke omgivelser. Jeg har aldrig oplevet noget lignende før. Sådan. So it was a crazy experience hiking in the beautiful surroundings. I've never had such, I've never experienced something like it before. There, I've answered the question. Oh yeah, let's go back to our little email here. Yeah, we just continue. Kom ind på de understregede dele i mailen. So we can just now go sort of directly to the next one, which is this thing about der er meget larm, folk de taler sammen. Synes du, jeg skal gøre det? Altså, han overvejer at sige noget til dem. He's continuing saying something to them. Do you think I should do something? So essentially, we need to say, yeah, you should do it, or no, you shouldn't do it, and then expand on why. If you go into the PDF, I've already listed a bunch of very simple, useful phrases that you can use, but we're going to take a look at them together after. Let's just continue and see what I've written here. I've introduced the idea with, jeg kan godt forstå, at larmen på kontoret frustrerer dig. Det lyder som en god idé at sige det til dine kolleger. So here I've sort of said yes or no. And however you say it, it's up to you, right? I could just use, yeah, jeg synes, det er en god idé at sige det til dine kolleger. Det lyder som en god idé. Sounds like a good idea to say something to your colleagues. And then I've got into a suggestion rather than why, more like a suggestion. Måske kunne du venligt fortælle dem, at du har svært ved at koncentrere dig. So maybe you could politely, nicely, tell them that you have difficulty concentrating. Det kan være, at andre på kontoret, har det på samme måde. Here's another reason why he might want to say it. It could be that other people in the office feel the same. Okay, so there's our sort of 3-point rule this time. After you sort of give it a little introduction of, I understand what you're saying, jeg kan forstå, and then I've got on to say, yeah, I think you should say something. Det lyder som en god idé. And then, why? Måske kunne det være, at andre på kontoret har det på samme måde. That was basically my reasoning why. But I've given a suggestion, and you'll see in the PDF, I've written a bunch of other useful little phrases that you can use when suggesting. Let's just jump over and have a quick look here.